our first story related to gaming news would have to be the story that I actually wrote about on our website, nerdnationnn2.com, and that is Xbox Game Pass on PC.
Huge.
Huge news.
Sounds just... This is like some of the best news of the year, really.
If you're a PC gamer, it most definitely likely is, especially if you aren't a big fan of how Epic's been handling PC gaming lately.
Yeah.
And the big thing is, I mean, it's basically going to be just like its console counterpart, in the fact that every Xbox Game Studio game is going to be available on this service on the launch day of the games, which has worked out pretty well for its console counterpart, despite the fact I'd say the most recent addition would be the Crackdown 3 game, which hasn't really been very well received, but Sea of Thieves was actually the very first game to get the treatment upon its release, which launched a couple months after the service launched. And then it would probably be State of Decay 2, which is the strategy, third-person action zombie survival action game, which I enjoyed.
I like the idea of Game Pass. I just haven't liked that you have to do it on Xbox, which is what it was designed for. And I gotta say, Microsoft last year, their big thing was Game Pass, and this year I think it's going to continue being Game Pass, but now they're expanding it to the PC platform. And there are a bunch of games I installed through Game Pass, and I just didn't really get around to playing them because I just don't like playing on my Xbox when I have like a much better PC to run these games.
Machine.
like I was trying to play We Happy Few within the last week, and I guess that there were some mechanics in the game that I was trying to get used to, or I was a little confused about, like how the crafting works, or there's a blueprint system in there. I didn't really get around to some of that. But when I was playing this game, I was just always thinking, like, what the hell is my frames per second? It's probably close to 30.
Well, here's the interesting thing about We Happy Few and a couple other games that are available through Game Pass on the console edition, is that We Happy Few, Crackdown, Gears of War 4, Sea of Thieves are, if you have the Game Pass already for the console edition, you have some of those games, including We Happy Few, on PC.
Will the saves transfer from console?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
That's something. I'll tell you, I'm like halfway through Ori and the Blind Forest, and I want to say I haven't really gotten that far.
I do know that some games have cross-platform save support. One of them being, it's not in Game Pass, but it is one of those. It was part of their buy it on Xbox and you get the PC version as well, which would be Mordor, the War of Mordor, the second Shadow of Mordor game that came out like a couple of years ago now. That has cross-platform save support, and also if you bought it on Xbox, you also got the PC version as well.
Shadow of Mordor was the first one, and the second one was Shadow of War.
Shadow of War, okay.
And some people called it Shadow of Wardor. Namely Jim Sterling, the first person I heard say that. It stuck with me.
But yeah, so I'm not sure if We Happy Few has cross-platform save support, but I do know that it is a thing for some games on Xbox and PC.
it's going to be a separate service, right? So
We don't know if it's going to be a separate service or if it's going to be a combined service. My guess is it's going to be a separate service.
It sounds like it. Like, I would say it's gonna be separate.
Especially considering it's focusing on PC games.
Right.
And they've said in their own release that it's going to be, just like the console version is a highly curated platform with a bunch of high-profile releases as well as indie games and stuff like that. This also is going to be a highly curated platform for PC gamers and PC games, where it says it's also going to launch with at least 100 high-quality PC games and they're partnering with over 75 studios to bring them all together and have their games be a part of this platform. A couple of the ones they listed would be Paradox, Bethesda, Sega, Devolver Digital, Deep Silver, and of course their own brand, the Xbox Game Studios games. And now they said something very interesting here about they even went on to say Xbox Game Pass for PC, Xbox Game Studios games in the Game Pass for PC will release same day as their global release date, including titles from newly acquired studios like Obsidian and In Exile. Now, the most interesting part about them mentioning Obsidian is that their newest game is what is or was, we're not sure if this is changing or not, set to be a Epic exclusive at launch for a year. Since they've been acquired by Xbox, and Xbox, they even go on to say in a kind of a bit of an elbow to the ribs to Epic later on in the same thing, they say, our intent is to make our Xbox Game Studio PC games available in multiple stores, including our own Microsoft store on Windows at their launch. We believe you should have a choice in where you buy your PC games. So, yeah, this might be them kind of pulling the rug out from under Epic in a kind of Epic way of doing things, considering how Epic's been kind of been pulling the rug out from under Steam for the last couple months.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if they bring Outer Worlds, which is Obsidian's next big game, to their platform the same day as it goes on sale for Epic.
And it's like Microsoft just like team shot Epic, and you just heard like betrayal.
I like that.
Okay.
Honk honk.
Agree.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing if this comes through, because Obsidian Entertainment made Outer Worlds before they were acquired by Xbox and joined Xbox Game Studios. So I'm curious and that's how the deal with Epic came about, because they were publishing through Take-Two, I believe. Publishing this game through Take-Two, but since they've been acquired by Microsoft and joined Xbox Game Studios, I'm wondering if that deal is going to be voided.
Yeah, interesting for sure.
But
just a reminder, Obsidian, these are the people that brought us Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas, as well as the Pillars of Eternity franchise, which I was a Kickstarter backer for the first Pillars of Eternity.
So, you want a cookie?
Hey, I got the game. I enjoyed the game. and it went on to not only be really successful, but it also spawned a sequel, which was also very successful. And it was also the reason why they got back into like the isometric RPG style gameplay that they got famous for in like the earlier Fallout games, as well as the Baldur's Gate stuff, and yeah.
Nice.
Just to say, I forgot the name of the title, but on the Epic Game Store right now, it's not the Outer Worlds, but there's some other game with like
Outer Wilds.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yes.
this almost the same title, and I saw that I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like almost has the same name. It's like
It has a very similar art style and everything too. It's kind of funny.
You remember when Netflix used to have like a bunch of like B movie ripoffs of like there was like a Snakes on a Train and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They used to have crap like that on Netflix. When I saw the Outer Wilds, I was like, this is some obviously trying to steal some spotlight, trying to get some undeserved attention with that name. But really, people that are upset with like Bethesda, like people are looking forward to this Outer Worlds. Like maybe this is going to be like the Fallout experience.
That's what a lot of people have been calling it, the true successor to Fallout.
Anything's better than the most recent one, so.
Fallout 76, still a mess, still a pile of crap.
Yup.
I gotta admit, they should just kill it. They should just
Yeah.
like they should just
I
like
agree.
it's not
If
going
you
to
wanna
get
play it
better.
as is,
They should
go
kill
ahead.
it like Lawbreakers. Just
Yeah, just they should kill it off like Boss Key killed off Lawbreakers, like Gearbox killed off their hero shooter. I can't even remember the name of it. But yeah,
It's
it
so
just
sad.
it just needs to die. It's
the
not
one
going. It has gotten better, I've heard, but I've also heard that they've made a lot of. Every time they fix something, they screw something else up.
Yeah,
So it's just
they
like
break it again.
they
Just
just
to
need to
say-
stop. They just need to
Yeah.
they just need to admit that it's that it's a failure. They just got and just be like and just issue an apology, issue some refunds, and just be like, we're done with this. We're gonna go focus on our
Yeah.
next single player game, and that
Yeah.
will not have multiplayer.
Just say Overwatch, PUBG, and Fortnite kind of killed off like all these games we're just kind of talking about right here. Like Lawbreakers and the Gearbox game that it was kind of all colorful, cell shaded. It was trying to. Was that more of an MMO or more of a MOBA?
It was kind of. I think it was like a MOBA hero team shooter. That was like a combination of things, but yeah, it just they killed that off too, which is interesting considering they used it to tease a new Borderlands game, which we're finally getting, because it had a similar art style to Borderlands. And a lot of people theorize that it took place in the same universe as Borderlands because there were even teasers about Borderlands 3 in there before we even knew Borderlands 3 was a thing. And it was actually, interestingly enough, it came out the same...
Battleborn.
Battleborn,
right?
yes. It came out the same time that Overwatch did. And Overwatch beat it out. That Overwatch and Battleborn were both released at the same time, or like within weeks of each other, and Overwatch just overtook it.
And with Lawbreakers, so just the battle royales just totally took away all the attention for that one.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I heard it was actually a really good game. It was well paced. I heard the gameplay was solid and everything like that. It just released at a very unfortunate time. But yeah, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on. They did say that they will be talking about it more at their E3 presentation, which is June 9th, which is next Sunday. Which their show starts at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 4 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll be doing our own E3 coverage the Thursday the 13th, where we'll be hosting another Nerd Nation discussions about it. So keep a ear out for that and an eye out for any news we post about that.